For years, Doctor Doom felt weak. Not just weak in power, but weak in presence. Every time he appeared on screen, there was this sense that something was missing, like we were looking at a shadow of a character rather than the character himself. He would show up, make a speech, clash with the heroes, and then vanish as if he was never meant to matter beyond that single moment. And for a villain who was supposed to be one of the most feared minds in Marvel history, that felt wrong, almost insulting. But the truth is, Doctor Doom didn't fail because he was poorly designed or inherently uninteresting. He failed because the movies were never built to support what Doctor Doom actually is. Doctor Doom is not a villain who thrives in short bursts of action or simple good versus evil storytelling. He is a slow burn. He is a long game. In the comics, Doom isn't terrifying because he punches harder than everyone else. He's terrifying because he always thinks 10 movies ahead. Because he's willing to lose today if it means he wins tomorrow. And because he genuinely believes the universe is safer in his hands than anyone else's. But movie versions of Doom stripe that all away. They rushed him into existence and then rushed him out of it, forcing him into the role of a final boss when he's never supposed to be one. When Doctor Doom first appeared in films, the superhero genre itself was still figuring out what it wanted to be. Villains were often one-dimensional obstacles. They're to challenge the hero physically and then be defeated, so the story could wrap up cleanly. That approach works for villains whose power is straightforward, but Doom is anything but straightforward. He is science and sorcery combined. He is ego and intelligence locked in constant battle. He is a ruler, a scientist, a magician, and philosopher all at once. The films didn't have the time or patience, or that complexity, so they simplified him. And in doing so, they weakened him. Most movie versions of Doom chose a single angle to ignore the rest. Sometimes he was just a tech villain. Sometimes he was just an energy-powered antagonist. Sometimes he was barely even Doom at all, just a name attached to a character who didn't resemble the source material in spirit or execution. Without his mastery of magic, Doom loses his mystique. Without his obsessive intellect, he loses his threat. Without his belief that he is right, that he alone can fix a broken world, he loses his purpose. What remained was a villain who looked imposing but felt hollow. Someone who could be defeated because the story demanded it, not because heroes truly outsmarted him. Another reason Doctor Doom felt weak is because he kept being introduced too early. Doom isn't meant to be the first major villain a team faces. He's meant to be the villain who survives them. In the comics, Doom outlasts generations of heroes. He studies them, adapts to them, learns from every defeat, and comes back more dangerous each time. But in movies, he was treated like a one-and-done threat. Someone whose story ended the moment he lost. That completely contradicts who Doom is. Losing isn't the end for Doctor Doom, it's a lesson. And without the chance to return, to evolve, or to become more ruthless and refined, he was never allowed to reach his true potential. There's also the issue of scale. Early superhero films were focused on personal takes and localized threats. Cities were in danger, not realities. Worlds were at risk, not existence itself. Doctor Doom, at his best, operates on a scale that challenges reality. He steals powers from gods. He rewrites the rules of the universe. He doesn't just want to conquer territory, he wants to replace systems. That kind of villain simply doesn't fit in a small, more grounded cinematic universe. That world wasn't ready for him. And more importantly, the audience wasn't ready to understand him. But now, everything is changed. The modern Marvel universe is fractured, unstable, and uncertain. The multiverse is open, magic is real, and terrifying. Heroes are divided, exhausted, and vulnerable. The certainty that once held everything together is gone, and that kind of chaos is exactly where Doctor Doom thrives. He doesn't need to kick down a door, he just needs to step in and offer order. And that's what makes him so dangerous now. Doom doesn't see himself as a villain, he sees himself as the solution. Where others see control, he sees stability. Where others see tyranny, he sees peace. Unlike villains who want destruction for its own sake, Doom wants to rule because he believes no one else is capable. In many comic timelines, when Doom takes control, the world doesn't collapse, it improves. Crime drops, wars end, hunger fades, and that forces heroes and audiences to ask an uncomfortable question. If Doom's world works, is he really wrong? You know, that moral complexity is something earlier films avoided, but modern storytelling embraces. Audiences now want villains who challenge ideals, not just fists. And Doom does that better than anyone. The reason Doctor Doom will work now when he didn't before is because the story is finally big enough for him. He doesn't need to appear and immediately fight the heroes. He can exist in the background, influencing events, manipulating outcomes, and preparing for a future only he can see. His victory doesn't come from a final battle. It comes from inevitability. By the time heroes realize Doom is the real threat, he's already positioned himself as indispensable. Removing him becomes impossible without tearing everything apart. So when people ask why Doctor Doom was so weak in earlier movies, but is now being set up as the next big villain, the answer is simple. He was never meant for short stories or simple universes. He was waiting for a world complex enough to justify him. He was waiting for a time when power alone wouldn't be enough, when intelligence, patience, and ideology mattered more than strength. Doctor Doom wasn't weakened by bag writing alone. He was restrained by timing. And now that world is broken, uncertain, and desperate for control, Doctor Doom finally has exactly what he needs.